Good morning, everyone. Seems like we can't make a lot of headway through Isaiah. These chapters just are amazing, and it wouldn't be right just to rush through them without bringing some of these things to your attention. Because every time I read them, they touch my heart. And we have an especially beautiful passage to look at this morning in Isaiah chapter 49. As always, go back, read the whole chapter. Pray to the Lord that He opens your understanding. Enjoy the time that you have with Him and ask Him to wash and renew your mind, making you more like Christ every day. And linger over some of these words, because what they say and what they tell us about God is just wonderful. Verse 14 begins, "But Zion said, the Lord has forsaken me, and my Lord has forgotten me." This was what the nation was saying. And this is many times what we say when we're going through difficult times. Where is God? God has forgotten about me. God has left me all on my own. I don't think there's anybody who goes through this life that has had a relationship with God who hasn't felt this and who probably hasn't said this at one time or another. But I want you to listen carefully to the Lord's response. He says to Zion, to Israel, "Can a woman forget her nursing child and not have compassion on the son of her womb? Surely they may forget, yet I will not forget you." God says, the love that I have for you is like the love that a mother has for her new baby, her nursing child. He says, and even though the love of people can sometimes be cold, that you can have a mom who could forget their child, He says, surely I will not forget you. God says that He thinks of us as His dear, sweet children. And we're never, ever off of His mind. Because in verse 16 He says, "See, I have inscribed you on the palms of my hands. Your walls are continually before me." He's talking about Israel, and He says, I've inscribed you. I've etched you into my own hands, that every time I look at them, I'm reminded of you. And every time I read this passage, I think about Jesus after the cross when He appeared to His disciples. And it says they could see the nail prints in His hands. And in fact, when He appeared to Thomas, Thomas said he wouldn't believe unless he felt the nail prints in His hands and the wound in His side. And Jesus held out His hands so that He could be inspected. And the disciples saw those marks upon Him. In heaven, it speaks about Jesus appearing as a lamb at the slaughter. And those who are viewing Him are reminded of the great sacrifice that He made. That's the way we see Jesus and understand His love for us. But I get a sense from these words that that's not what God sees. He doesn't see wounded hands when He looks. But what He sees is an inscription with your name upon it, with my name upon it, with the nation of Israel, with the church of God, with every redeemed saint's name, life story, picture, inscribed there on His hands. He says, I will never forget you. You're a part of me now. I will never forget you. He says about Jerusalem that the walls are continually before Him, and I believe that our faces are continually before our God, who is desiring to bring us to Himself. He's only holding back so that others could be saved. He's only holding back because He's long-suffering, desiring that all could come to repentance and that none should perish. But we will never be forgotten, and our future is sure with Him. This is the immense love of God. That's the kind of love that's worth serving, isn't it? That's the kind of God that's worth laying down our life for. For when we die to ourselves and live to Him, we find a life worth living. Think about these things and have a great day. Bye.